Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Food Chain TV. Do I have a recipe for you? If you guys love mushrooms and if you like rice, this is definitely something you're gonna love. When's the last time you went through a grocery store and walked by the dried mushroom section and wondered to yourself, what is it that I'm supposed to do with these dried mushrooms? How do I cook with them? Well, this recipe is definitely the first thing that you want to try if you've never cooked with dried mushrooms before. And even if you're used to cooking with dried mushrooms, this recipe is excellent. So let's get right into it. Basmati rice with dried chanterelle mushrooms. Now, we can do this recipe with all sorts of different dried mushrooms, but I chose chanterelle mushrooms because they have such a nice flavor. And the essential thing about using dried mushrooms is that by drying them, the flavor in the mushroom gets intensified. And then when you reconstitute them, which means when you add water back into them, you kind of spread that flavor into your dish. So when you soak these mushrooms in water, that water has this beautiful color and all the flavor from the dried mushroom, perfect for cooking rice. So we're going to use some basmati rice for this recipe. I'm going to use 9 ounces of basmati rice. Now you can use all sorts of different kinds of rice for this, but I love using basmati rice because of its fragrance, because of its flavor. It cooks quickly, and relatively speaking, it has kind of like a lower range of carbohydrates, for those watching our carb counts. So the first thing I do here is I put my basmati rice in a fine mesh strainer, and I just want to wash it because normally rice has starches and it has anti-caking agents, whatever they put on the rice to keep the grains from sticking. So you want to wash those things off. It's always a good rule of thumb to wash your rice just under some cold running water. Also, if you wash your rice before you cook it, that prevents some or all of the foaming. So if you want to prevent foaming, wash your rice. Now I have my electric rice cooker, and I love this thing because I bought it 10 years ago and it still works like the day I bought it. If you don't have a rice cooker, you can use a pot, you can use a pressure cooker. Whatever method that you use to cook rice, this recipe will work. In goes the rice. Now I'm going to sprinkle in my dried mushrooms. And I love smoked salt. If you guys have never had a steak with this Maldon smoked sea salt, you are missing out. Okay, this thing is going to add a really nice smoky flavor to this dish. You can use regular salt and this recipe will still be awesome. But if you use smoked salt, I'm telling you, it's going to be something special. Okay, just mix that all up in there. And just like with most rice, you put in 1 part rice and usually 2 parts water. So in this case, we put in 9 ounces of rice. So we're going to put in 18 ounces of water. I'm going to give this a little stir just to make sure the salt is evenly distributed. And you can see that the water is already turning yellow. That's all the flavor from the mushrooms starting to spread into the water. Then once you put your rice in there and you get the lid, just press the button and you're good to go. This will cook the rice in about 15 or 20 minutes. And while our rice is in there bubbling and absorbing all those beautiful flavors, it's time to take a little pot. We'll drop a stick of butter in there and just melt it, because what is a little rice without a little bit of butter? And look at this, guys, a beautiful steaming bowl of basmati rice with chanterelle mushrooms. The only thing that's missing here is all that melted butter. And if you have to ask yourself, well, how much butter should I put on there? The answer is too much, okay? You got to put too much butter on it, because that is really the true way to enjoy a nice bowl of rice. And not only do I like chanterelle mushrooms because of their unique flavor, but their texture. They're not completely soft. They're kind of almost a little bit crunchy. They have some bite to them. These are beautiful, beautiful things. And, as always, I got to take a little taste. Oh my God. Guys, this is just so good. It makes a perfect side dish for steak, for chicken, pork. Trust me, you guys will never cook rice without adding dried mushrooms to it ever again once you taste this dish. And because there's so many different types of dried mushrooms out there, you can make like 15 different variations of rice and mushrooms. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Thank you for all your support. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that when I make a new video, you're the first to hear about it. All right, so give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments section what you thought about this video and how you like to eat your rice. I always love to read your comments. Until next time, this is Christian saying I'm going to go eat this rice, even though it has way too much butter. Probably going to eat the whole thing myself.